You're not going to believe it. Well, but then maybe you will believe it because that's just the point we are right now, where Blake Lively has summoned what I call the Avengers, maybe one Avenger, because she has found a woman named Elise Dorsy who claims she knows what Blake is going through because she went through the exact same thing. Well, maybe a little different, but let's get into it.
F around and find out. F around and find out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of F Around and Find Out. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you all had a great weekend. And let's get into this because I giggled, I chuckled when I saw this because it's like, did the Me Too people did this girl just realize there's a case going on in the month of May? Because where has she been all this time? We're going to start with this article because Blake Lively backed by advocacy groups in legal fight with Justin Baldoni over Me Too speech law. Blake Lively's push to dismiss Baldoni's defamation countersuit is drawing support from several advocacy groups who say the case threatens a hard-won legal protection for people who speak out about sexual harassment and misconduct. Equal Rights Advocates, a San Francisco-based legal nonprofit that advocates for gender equity and workplace protections, filed an amicus brief on Tuesday arguing a federal judge to uphold Lively's motion and defend California's new free speech law protecting those who speak publicly about sexual misconduct. A separate letter of interest was filed by Elise Dorsy, a former federal employee and sexual harassment survivor who described being sued for defamation after speaking out and said that the law at issue could have spared her a years-long legal ordeal. Asked about the briefs, the spokesperson for Lively said in a statement that Baldoni was trying to end the nation's only Me Too. Oh, God. Baldoni was trying to end the nation's only Me Too law as unconstitutional and accused him and his co-defendants of being so focused on trying to harm Miss Lively that they're willing to shred a law designed to protect all victims just to make sure they bury one. Okay. The statement added that Lively will continue to use her voice to speak up for justice on behalf of herself and others. Who asked you is the question I have, because other survivors do not want anything to do with you, girl. They are sick. You make them sick to their stomach because you a lie. You a lie. Oh, Blake, so nasty, so rude. Lively has accused Baldoni, her co-star and the film's director, of harassing her during filming, citing improvised on-set physical contact, inappropriate conduct, and alleged retaliation after she raised concerns, claims he denied. Advocates say her case highlights the kind of public allegations that the law was meant to protect and warned that a ruling against her could chill speech around harassment. If the law were to be struck down, it wouldn't just affect Blake Lively, it would essentially do away with the protections for all survivors, said Jessica Shidlow, legal director at Child USA, a nonprofit that advocates for stronger protections for abuse survivors. It would be a devastating setback and completely undermine the purpose of the law, which was set to make it easier for victims to come forward and to speak their truth without fear of retaliation. Baldoni's legal team has strongly opposed the dismissal motion, arguing that Lively's accusations were knowingly false and that the statute she invoked is itself unconstitutional. They argue the law goes too far by threatening steep financial penalties, saying it could discourage people from going to the court to defend themselves against false accusations. That position drew a sharp response from Victoria Burke, an attorney who helped push for the AB 933. I was highly disappointed with the move, said Burke, who is filing her own amicus brief in this case. He's put himself out as a feminist, and this undoes a lot of the good he has been doing. It just seems cruel and unnecessary to try to destroy a law that was designed to protect all survivors just to go after one. Explain something to me. When people keep bringing up the fact that he's put himself out there as a feminist, what does that mean to you? You guys are like, oh, he's put himself out there as a feminist. So therefore, if a woman accuses you of heinous things that you did not do because you're a feminist, you need to lie down, take it, and thank God a woman came after you. And matter of fact, You need to congratulate the woman for standing up and coming after you, and don't fight back. Is that what you think that means? Like, what, he's a feminist, so lie down and take it? Where's the thinking? Oh, to try to don't destroy the whole law just to go after one woman. So I'm a feminist. I believe women should have the same rights as men. But when a woman does something to me that I didn't do, oh, you don't want me, matter of fact, you don't want me to be a feminist. You want me to just forego my own protections. You want me to forego my own rights and just let the woman punch me. I should just stand and take the punches because I support women. At that point, I'm going to be honest, what I tell you is I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be nasty. I'm going to go ahead and say fuck feminism. In this case, AB 933 was designed to shield people who speak out about sexual harassment, assault, and discrimination from retaliatory defamation suits, provided their statements weren't made with actual malice. It also includes a fee shifting provision that requires unsuccessful plaintiffs to pay legal costs and allow for treble and punitive damages. In a March 4th filing in federal court in New York, Lively's attorney argued that Baldoni's countersuit is precisely the kind of retaliation that California new laws were meant to prevent. The law prohibits weaponizing defamation lawsuits like this one to retaliate against individuals who have filed claims spoken out about sexual harassment and retaliation, the brief states. The case marks the first major test of AB 933 since it was signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom in October 2023. The outcome could set an early precedent for how far courts are willing to go in upholding the law and what protections it ultimately provides for those who speak out about alleged misconduct. Again, I want to make something clear. People need to understand, and this is what kind of makes me a little bit infuriated with people who don't know what's going on completely, because had Blake Lively made these claims, had she had her evidence lined up, okay, or had Justin Baldoni happened to have no evidence, this case would be different. Had Blake Lively allowed the Civil Rights Department to go ahead and investigate, this conversation would be different. Had she allowed Wayfair and Sony to investigate, this conversation would be different. Had Blake Lively not lied about, oh, the dancing scene, he was smelling me and being weird and telling me I smell good. Oh, and then we heard the audio and we heard what the man was actually talking about. Had Blake Lively not lied about, oh, I wrote these lines and nobody taking me seriously in this industry. Cut to, your husband wrote the lines and you try to manipulate the man. Had Blake Lively not lied and said, they barge into my dressing room when I'm breastfeeding. Oh, I'm breastfeeding. Come in, let's run lines. Girl, this law is not meant for you, Blake. This law is not meant to protect you, Blake. It's meant to protect victims. It's meant to protect people who are actually going through this, who actually need protection from their harassers, from the abusers, from people who have harmed them. You are the one harming this man. Had you just allowed an investigation to take place, maybe we believe you. Maybe we give you the benefit of the doubt. But whenever any power higher than you and your husband wanted to look into these claims, you shut it down. Why? Cut to, now Blake Lively wants me to listen to some woman named Elise Dorsy, who had a 10-year relationship with her professor, on and off, went on vacations together, went to dinners together, went to wine tastings together. You want me to listen to this woman because she claims she's like the original you? Elise Dorsy is now submitting an amicus brief to the court saying, along with the other organizations, saying, well, I went through the same thing. My harasser, filed a defamation suit against me, which took a long time. It ended up being settled, blah, blah, blah. But don't let it happen to Blake too. Sweetheart, sweetie, let's be for real. You are in a relationship with the man of power. I'm not defending the man. Don't know the man from Adam. Don't care about the man. So this is Josh Wright, the professor and man, and whomever the Elise Dorsy lady is. The Elise Dorsy had her beef with, right? An amicus brief is what a person submits when they're not a party to the suit. They're not, part of Blake's team. They're not part of Justin's team. They're not part of the lawsuit. They just have something to say about it, right? And they think the outcome could affect things they care about. So Elise Dorsy is an attorney and a survivor of sexual harassment and abuse of power who now advocates for stronger statutory protections for survivors and for stronger legal remedies for people subject to retaliatory lawsuits. As relevant here, Ms. Dorsey has a strong interest in advocating for survivors of sexual harassment faced with painful and expensive litigation. She also has a strong interest in aiding courts in upholding codified protections for survivors like California's Protection Survivors from Weaponizing Defamation Lawsuits Act, so that no survivor must endure what Ms. Dorsey endured over a year and a half of litigation against her harasser, whom she was in a relationship with for 10 years, on and off. I want to make that clear. This man was not coming at her where she was like, get away from me, I don't want to be around you, went out of her way to not be around him. They were together. I want to make that very clear. It's like the TV show I was talking to you guys about, Pulse, on Netflix, where the girl was dating the doctor, right? The resident was dating the chief resident, like in the same house, living in the same house, in the shower together, meeting in a hall, meeting in a stairway for smoochies and stuff. And then she was like, oh my God, there's a promotion coming up. And if I don't get it, like, don't give me the promotion because I don't want you to give it to me because we're dating. But then if you don't give it to me, is it because we're not dating? And then it's like, when you tell me to sit down, like, are you being my boss? Or are you being my boyfriend who cares about me? It was a mess, but pretty much kind of the same idea here. Now, I'm not giving this man any pass. I don't know about this man, Josh. I don't care about this man. But I'm saying you can't be in a relationship with somebody on and off for 10 years. And like a relationship where you're on vacation together. Okay, it's not like he's coming at you and you're fending him off. And then be texting him when you find out, like texting him when you find out he's in a new relationship, which is what was happening here. So the Elise Dorsey lady is currently crashing out on X because people are questioning her because they know about her story. So this is an X post from TV and Movie Addict. Elise Dorsey, the woman who helped write the brief, just called a law firm partner a troll. This is what happens when you question the narrative. They don't debate you. They try to discredit you. So somebody wrote, as a purported advocate of free speech, why are you deleting comments that are not consistent with your views, especially comments that are based on the actual evidence showing that Blake Lively's accusations are not the truth? I assume that's what the person meant. How, in your opinion, is someone in the position Justin Baldoni, whose life and career have been ruined by false SH accusations, supposed to react? Does he not have rights as well? And then Elise Dorsey goes, tell me you didn't read the brief without telling me you didn't read the brief. If you file a defamation claim in good faith, the statute simply does not apply. At the end of the day, the statute provides critical protections for legitimate whistleblowers. I'm defending the constitutionality of the statute. At the end of the day, the judge and the jury will determine the facts. That's not true, Elise. We read your brief. You pretty much are saying Justin is guilty. You pretty much in your brief said Justin is straight up guilty. You're like, he did it. He's trying to shut her up. That's the same thing that happened to me. So tell me you didn't write your brief without telling me you didn't write your brief. Did you write your brief? Because if you wrote your brief, I don't think you would have responded this way. So Elise, go reread your brief and then come back and respond to this lady, because it gives the check cleared. You know, she needed some money, or she needed something, she got it, and they made her write that. And she's probably like, I'm gonna live with myself, whether I believe it or not, because I don't understand how, which is why, I mean, she's like a good candidate for this, because she actually did have a relationship with a man, 10-year relationship on and off, I keep reiterating. And so maybe to a person like that, she has no problem with somebody falsely accusing somebody of SH. There's a creator on here, Cassidy O'Connell. She and Lauren got together and did a live where they talked about this Elise Dorsey and her lawsuit. And I mean, they go into great detail. There's text messages between the Elise lady and the Josh guy where there is a relationship. There's an established relationship. I don't want to jack their whole video. If you want to watch it, please go do that on their page so you could give them the view. But I'm just going to go through real quick and show you guys. There was like established relationships between them. So it doesn't completely apply here. Like, she is not completely removed where she's like, I'm a victim, I'm a survivor, this is my case. You were in a relationship with this man. When you found out he's dating other people, you created a ruckus around it. That's neither here nor there for me. I don't care about this man. If do what you got to do over there, but don't bring your mess over here. Don't try to entangle it with this. It's not the same thing. I don't want to jack Lauren and Cassidy's whole video, so please make sure to go give Cassidy a watch. And this is so exhausting to me. Like I'm tired. Okay, even Jesus rested. Okay, so it's time to rest.
F around and find out. F around and find out.